Hi everyone, I'm Hannah. I did this project with Joe, Allie, and Brooke, and we are doing testing for a company called Doggy Doos. So the purpose for us and for Doggy Doos is to develop the most luxurious poodle shampoo possible. So an example of a potential client for this shampoo would be the Poodle Club of America, which a lot of its members are just poodle owners. And then, as I said, our company is Doggy Doos. So that is the company who would like to make this luxury shampoo for poodles. And then we are Chase Labs, so we are going to test 2 potential shampoos for Doggy Doos. So, a little bit more about the Poodle Club of America. It was founded in 1931 when the poodle breed is gaining popularity. It's the only national poodle breed club that's recognized and sanctioned by the AKC, which is the American Kennel Club. It held its first specialty event in 1938 and had 142 poodle entries, which was a lot back then, because that was right when poodles were starting off. So there's a huge market for this. And then one of its purposes is to conduct sanctioned and licensed specialty shows, field trials, and obedience trials under the rules and regulations of the AKC. So our client's wish list, so this is like the Poodle Club of America or and poodle owners, and Doggy Doos wants this for them, is to create the most luxurious shampoo possible for poodles. They want the shampoo to have, on like the poodle's fur hair, they want it to have shine, glossiness, structure, and then little to no frizz. And then we're saying for these owners, cost will not really be an issue, because lots of times it's going to be for owners who want to show their poodle in different shows. So cost to show a dog. There are many costs that add up for an owner who wants to show their pup. Buying the dog, if they want to buy like a purebred dog for a show, it can be up to around $5,000, $8,000. Entering shows is about $25 to $30 per show, and if you have like a competitive owner who wants their dog to win, they will do up to 10 to 15 shows a month, which really would add up. They spend money traveling, about $1,000 per month, which all the shows aren't going to be where they live, they have to travel to them. And then most owners want to buy their dog insurance, which is $1,000 per year. They want to advertise their dog. They like to put pictures of dogs in like magazines and send them to the judges. And then what's important for us is the grooming. So these owners will spend up to $50 per week on grooming their dog and making sure they're ready to be shown. And so for us, focusing on poodles, these costs are going to really add up. For owners, if they want to make their dog competitive, poodles are going to be towards the high end of that $50 a month because of their grooming. They have a specialized style that many other dogs don't have. So they are going to go to any length to ensure their poodle is ready for show day. So they want a shampoo that's going to make their poodle stick out, and that's the reason we're not really too worried about cost, because in the good scheme of things, the owner's going to want an expensive shampoo to do the best. So poodle hair. Poodles actually have hair. They don't have fur like most dogs, which means they don't shed. So a lot of owners like them because they can be considered a hypoallergenic dog. The hair types kind of differ from poodle to poodle. It can be kind of wavy, soft, woolly, coarse. So there's that variance. And then natural poodle hair is actually very long, curly cords, and it's very heavy. So their haircuts here, which is like a typical kind of poodle haircut you see, actually dates back to the 1600s. It's called a continental clip. And actually was like cut that way for very practical reasons. The tufts on their chest and their back are known as pom-poms, and then down here they have like ankle bracelets is what they call them. And this began in Germany when poodles were used as water dogs. Natural poodle hair is heavy, like I said before, so they would want to cut it so that the poodle wouldn't sink. So they cut it this way so that the poodle could swim fast and then keep them warm, protect their vulnerable areas, and even like the knot on the head, all the fur on the head, was so the hunter could spot them from a distance. And so then eventually, obviously, that was not a practical use. So that transition from practical to elaborate began with French noblemen, and they wanted their poodle's hair to look like their fancy pompadours, so like their haircuts. Yeah.
All right, and that leads us to the next section, which is shampoo background, composition, and considerations. So when we were thinking about what Doggy Doos was asking to test, we realized we had to consider some things about the shampoo acidity when we were testing our shampoos for them. So some interesting facts about shampoo acidity is that human skin has a pH of roughly between 5.5 and 5.6, and dog skin averages between 6.2 and 7.4. This means that human shampoo is much more acidic than dog shampoo. And there's actually a very interesting reason for this, and that's because the acid mantle that's found on everyone's skin is super important for preventing bacteria, viruses, and other potential contaminants from entering the body through the skin. So relating to the acid mantle, if you've ever wondered why you get greasy hair sometimes, it's because you will actually produce, it's called sebum, and it will mix with sweat, and that forms the acid mantle that's found on the surface of the skin. So it's a little disgusting, but it's what protects the skin from invaders. A buildup of these natural protective oils will result in greasy looking lackluster hair, and shampoos must be engineered to remove this buildup without completely stripping the hair of the natural oils. So this is just a quick diagram of the sebaceous gland that I was referencing for the acid mantle. So you can see the hair follicle is right here. And like right next to the hair follicle is the oil gland that will coat each of the different follicles. And then here's the sweat gland, also very close to each hair follicle.
As we're talking about shampoos, it's really important to know the background on how the products are actually going to work. So here we have a simple list of ingredients that are contained in most shampoos that are produced. Obviously, a lot of them have water bases. This is due to the fact that when you are showering or when you're taking a bath, you are obviously doing it in water. So all the materials within the shampoo must be water soluble, otherwise they wouldn't wash out of your hair after you're done washing. Secondly, you need detergent, otherwise nothing's actually going to get clean. So like we were saying about the sebum, if that detergent isn't there, no cleansing actually happens. Finally, the additional agents added to shampoos, it depends on what you're going for. These examples are conditioning agents, so they're hydrolyzers.
So how does shampoo work? I mean, you wash your hair every day, but have you ever actually stopped and thought about how the shampoos actually work? I know I haven't. Some interesting facts about that is that shampoos must contain detergents, similar to those found in laundry and dishwashing detergent. These detergents will act as surfactants that lower the surface tension of water, and that allows it to bind to oils and other small particles on the surface of the hair, and that's what allows your hair to actually get clean, is these surfactants. Conditioning agents that you add to the shampoo are crucial additives that will help restore the natural protective layer that coats the hair follicles. And like I mentioned earlier, the acid mantle, the natural protective oils, those are all super important, so the pH of shampoo has to be regulated. So your shampoo is too basic, it'll result in weak and damaged hair due to the sulfide bridges and keratin being broken.
So the products that we're testing for doggy doos are substituting different types of conditioning agents into the ingredients. So they asked us to test two different products that have two different additives, the coconut oil and the avocado oil. So just breaking down what each does kind of for the dogs and for the hair follicles. Coconut oil serves as a natural moisturizer, which is good because you want to have your hair moisturized, otherwise it won't look as good. It creates a sleek and glossy coat, which is good for the shine, which is very important when showing dogs. And it helps fight itchy skin, because obviously you don't want your dog scratching themselves while you're showing them. Should be noted, however, a lot of people might apply coconut oil straight to their hair, which basically does the same thing. But the problem with that is that you can't control really the ratio of how much coconut oil is being added, so you can end up with a lot of excess oil in the hair, which leads to a buildup, and it doesn't have that nice uniform coat, which is why having a set concentration of coconut oil within the shampoo is best. Next, we're talking about the avocado oil. It does many of the same things. Like I said, it also hydrates the dog's coat. However, the avocado oil stimulates the growth of the hair of the dogs, which is good considering how much poodles have to go through grooming. So moving on, we're going to be talking about how we're testing the biological materials of the hair and of the shampoo. And so we're going to be talking about the luster/shine of the hair after it's been treated, and the moisture content of the hair after it's been treated.
Okay, so our first property that we're going to talk about is luster. As you can see, the definition is a gentle sheen or soft glow, especially that of a partly reflective surface. You can test the shine and light scattering of the hair by a sensitive probe of the hair and surface. Light scattering methods depend on deposition, which is soil and buildup of your hair, particle removal, which is like the cleanliness, and interactions on the fiber surface. So when you test luster, this is like a human sample that you can see to the right. It's in the form of tresses, which is just like these little small human samples of hair being clamped together with a light bulb attached above each section, and it measures shine. So shine or luster is perceived when an object scatters much more light at a particular angle or in a particle direction than in other directions. Under these conditions, surface highlights or brightness contrasts appear and the object appears to be shiny. So testing the procedure in our own example, we will use poodle hair samples that have been rinsed off with water as our control group and compare it with hair that have been treated with coconut oil based shampoo and hair that's been treated with avocado oil based shampoo. We will test the shine of each hair sample by using a goniophotometer. The purpose of this test is to see how well each conditioning agent retains shine. So, the goniophotometer is a device used to measure light scattering by hair fibers. It relates light scattering patterns to hair morphology. Great. Develops formulas relating gonophotometric data to hair shine. So looking at this image, this kind of explains what's going on over here. So the light scattering scan is presented as a plot of scattered light intensity as a function of an angle. A hair fiber is held stationary and struck by light at a certain angle, which is right here. And the scattered light is then detected by rotating a photomultiplier tube from 0 to 90 degrees, so all the way over here, which is perpendicular to the fiber.
Moving on to our next property that we will be testing, we decided that it's best for our client if we are testing the moisture content of the hair after it's been treated with the shampoos. Moisture content is normally expressed as a percentage, and that can be either measured as a wet basis or a dry basis. Most Chase Labs employees will be familiar with this, as we have done testing for other companies that include moisture content. The reason why we chose this for the company is because dryness directly impacts the frizziness and the shine of the hair. So the more dry the hair is, the more frizz there is, and the more dry there is, the less shine there is. So in order to meet the client's needs for increased luster and decreased frizz, we want to increase the hydration of the hair that the shampoo is treating. So we shall be testing the different hair by using relative humidity chambers and an oven, as we did with some other tests like the hops. So what we will do is we will rinse dog hair with water without any shampoo agents and use that as a control group. And the hair that we're treating with the different shampoos, so the one with the coconut oil base or the additive and the avocado oil additive, will be tested and compared against the control group and then compared against each other. We will go through the procedure and then we will be able to quantitatively determine which one is better by comparing the two water contents of each.